Hi. So let's start our yoga practice by warming up the mind in something that we call as grounding. So sit in any comfortable sitting position, either on the chair or on your mat with your back nice and straight. Close your eyes, close your mouth, and make sure that your tongue is resting on the roof of your mouth. So that's going to keep your airways nice and open. Quality of your breathing and mindfulness are two of the most important principles that you need to keep and incorporate to get that extra benefits. Yoga is not just about stretching. If your mind is distracted and if you're not paying attention to your breathing. So let's practice the correct technique of your breathing. Now that you're in a comfortable sitting position, your back is nice and upright. Keep your shoulders down and relaxed. Close your eyes, close your mouth, and make sure that your tongue is resting on the roof of your mouth. That naturally keeps your airways open. Remember, you will be breathing in and out only by your nose. There will be no mouth breathing. Keeping your eyes closed, keeping your mouth closed, start to breathe in slowly by your nose and consciously direct the breath deep down in your body into your diaphragm, where you feel the rise and expansion of your belly first. And after your belly has risen to its maximum capacity, then you will feel the filling up of the breath in your lung cavity and your chest will expand. At the end of your inhale, your entire body should rise and expand to its maximum capacity, trying to absorb as much breath, as much oxygen. After your inhale, there will be a brief pause of maybe 1 or 2 seconds. And then you will start your exhalation also by your nose. And as you exhale, make sure that you're letting go of that breath as slowly as possible. Your goal is to try and prolong your exhalation, trying to make your exhalation as long as possible. And just for reference purpose, if you have inhaled for 3 seconds, try to make your exhalation for 6 seconds. If you have inhaled for 5 seconds, try to prolong your exhalation for 10 seconds. For beginners, for those of us who've never paid attention on our breathing, this might feel very difficult at first. But the more you practice, the more it gets better. Now, as you are practicing this breathing technique with your eyes closed, make sure that you're putting a pause to all the activities in your mind. Whatever it is, whether you are worried or distracted about something in the future or in the past, it can all wait for a while and bring the complete focus and attention of your mind on your breathing. Watch and feel the breath at your nostril. As you inhale, let the mind feel the belly rise, let the mind feel the chest rise. Also be aware roughly of how long you take to inhale. And then as you exhale, see how you feel inside. Let the belly go in as you exhale and let the chest drop down. Your eyes are still closed, you're still focusing on your breath. And if your mind ever gets distracted, that's perfectly fine. Just bring your awareness, your mind back to your breathing. Continue to keep your eyes closed. We are now going to conclude this brief grounding session, which is like a warm-up for your mind. Slowly bring both your arms together and vigorously rub your palms. Let the friction warm your palms. Cover your eyes, not with your fingers, but with the center of your palm, and feel the heat pass from your palm to your face. Slowly massage your face in a slow and circular direction, and very gently, very slowly open your eyes. Namaste, my name is Ken, and let's take our practice on the mat. So let's come into an all-fours position for a brief warm-up of your spine. In the all-fours position, make sure that your arms are exactly underneath your shoulders and your knee is exactly underneath your spine. When you look down, there should be a square-like structure. Inhale, slowly drop your middle spine down, pushing your hips up, lifting your neck up. Exhale, lift your mid-spine up as high as possible, tucking the chin to the chest. Inhale, drop your spine. Make sure the movement happens only in your spine and not in your arms. Exhale into the cat lift. Inhale, down. Make sure that your breathing goes in conjunction with your movement. Exhale into the cat lift. 3. Inhaling into the camel stretch and feel the stretch in the front portion of your spine, mostly in your belly. And exhale as you go into the cat lift, feel the stretch in the posterior portion of your spine, the back of your body. One last time. Inhale into the camel stretch. Exhale into the cat lift. After you finish the cat and camel stretch, slowly sit back in child's pose. Make sure that your buttocks are resting on your heels. Your legs are slightly wider, resting your belly between your thighs, and your arms are as wide as your mat. Make sure that your head is resting on the floor, buttocks resting on your heels, arms extended to the front. Now, inhale, you're going to move your body, your chest as low as possible. And when your chest passes through your palms, you drop your hips on the floor, and at the same time you extend your arms into cobra position. Exhale, lift your hips up and proceed to go back into child's pose. 1. Inhale. Slowly start to move your chest again as slow as possible, and pay careful attention at the transition when your chest passes through your palms into up dog, into cobra. Exhaling, lift your hips up and back into child's pose. One last time. And now we are going to hold the final stretch. Inhale. Again, moving as slowly as possible, really working on the mobility of your shoulders. Your toes are pointing back. The legs are resting on the floor. Make sure your shoulders are not shrugged. Your shoulders are down. And you're feeling the stretch in your abdominals. You are feeling the contraction in your lower back and your glutes. Just breathe. Keep your mouth closed. Make sure that you're breathing in and out only by your nose. If you're not feeling comfortable with your breath, you can reduce the stretch until breathing becomes comfortable. Lift your hips up and relax in child's pose. Slowly come up. We are now going to focus on hip stretches. So let's start by coming into plank position. In the plank position, make sure that your arms are exactly underneath your shoulders, on the balls of your feet, and your back is straight. Keep your core engaged. Bring your left leg and place it to the outside of your left hand, making sure your arm and your leg is in one straight line. There's a 90-degree bend in your left knee. Your back leg is nice and straight. Slowly rest your right knee on the floor with your toes pointing back. Make sure that you're not in a square position. Your hips are pushed down and forward. By now, you will be feeling a deep stretch in the inner thighs of your left leg and approximately a deep stretch in the hip flexors of your right. If you feel satisfied with the amount of stretch that you receive here, you can stay here. If you are a little bit more flexible and you want to take it to the next level, you can slowly try to place your elbows on the floor. If at all you do not feel comfortable here, feel free to regress the intensity and go back to the previous one. Once you have chosen your variation and you've settled yourself into the posture, close your eyes and bring the complete focus of your mind on the part of the body which is under stretch. You are now feeling the stretch in the inner thighs of your left leg and in the hip flexors of your right. Let's try and breathe 3 times as deeply as possible, in and out, only by the nose. Inhale. Exhale, also by your nose. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Slowly open your eyes and very carefully take your leg back into the reset position, which is the plank pose. We are now going to do the same stretch on the other side. Bring your right leg to the front, place it to the outside of your right hand. Make sure the arm and the lower portion of your leg is together, fingers and toes pointing to the front. Back leg is nice and straight. Your spine is in line with the back leg. Now rest your left knee to the floor and make sure that you are not squared but in your slanting push forward position. By now you are feeling a deep stretch in the inner thighs of your right leg and a medium stretch in the hip flexors of your left. If this is what you did on the right side, left side, repeat the same on the left. If this is what you did on the previous side, repeat the same on this side as well. Since I was in this variation, I'm going to hold this position. Close your eyes and let your mind feel that nice deep stretch in the inner thighs of your right leg and feel the stretch in the hip flexors of your left. Let's take 3 deep breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Remember, your breathing is happening in and out only by your nose. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Really focus on those deep breaths as you are trying to oxygenate each and every cell of your body. Exhale. Very good. Slowly take your legs back and give your body a brief rest in child's pose. Make sure that your legs are slightly apart, resting your belly between your thighs. Your buttocks are resting on your heels. Your forehead is resting on the floor. You can either keep your arms to the front or to the back. Both are fine. Let's take 2 deep breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Slowly come up and moving on to a next hip stretch. So we come back into the reset position, which is a plank pose. Make sure that your alignments are perfect. Arms underneath the shoulders. On the balls of your feet, your back nice and straight. Bring your left leg and place it exactly in the center of your palms. Drop your right knee to the floor and come up into an upright kneeling down position. Again, you need to make sure that you are not in a square position. You're in a hips pushed forward position. And as you keep pushing your hips to the front, you will feel the opening of your right hip flexors. If you're not feeling very comfortable at your right knee joint, feel free to cushion it with either placing a towel or something underneath your knee. And as you keep pushing your hips forward, you will reach that maximum stretch in your right hip flexors. If you are a beginner, you can stay here by keeping both your hands on top of your knee and adding a slight back bend. But if you are someone who enjoys a more deeper stretch, you can add to the depth of the stretch by increasing the back bend. I will choose to keep my arms here. Close your eyes and breathe 2 times. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Slowly bring your hands back on the floor. Take your left leg back into the reset position, which is the extended plank position. From the plank pose, bring your right leg to the front, again placing your feet exactly between your palms. Touch your left knee to the floor, toes pointing back, and slowly come up into an upright kneeling down position. Check your hips, make sure that you're not square but in your forward push position. If this is what you did on the previous side, please repeat the same variation. If this is what you did on the previous side, do the same on this side as well. Please do not do one variation on one side and something else on the other side. You're just going to invite imbalances. So since I had my arms on my knees, I'm going to repeat the same thing. Close your eyes and try to get that breath deep into your diaphragm. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Very good. Slowly come out of the posture by bringing your hands on your legs, hands on the floor. And let's take a brief rest in child's pose as we did previously, keeping some distance between your legs, resting the belly between your thighs, buttocks resting on your heels, forehead resting on the floor, arms in whichever position you feel comfortable. Close your eyes and let's take 2 deep breaths. Try to replenish as much oxygen as possible back to the body. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Very good. Slowly, let's come back into the reset plank position. Moving on to the next part of your hips, which are external hip rotators. Starting in plank position, we are now proceeding to pigeon pose. Bring your left leg to the front and make sure the left knee touches your left hand to start with. Slide your right leg as back as possible, which will allow you to sink your hips a little bit more down towards the floor. If you have very tight hips and buttocks, you may keep your legs slightly bent, which is going to reduce the intensity of the stretch. However, if you want to really open up, you can bring this leg up. But make sure that you're not falling on one side. If you're falling on one side, maybe you've kept it really high, you can reduce the stretch. Bring your hands close to your body on your fingertips and try to make your spine as perpendicular, as upright as possible. Once you get into an upright pigeon pose, you will feel the stretch moderately in the buttocks and outer hips of your left leg and maximally in the hip flexors of your right. Let's hold the upright pigeon pose for 2 deep breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Now inhale first, and as you exhale, we are slowly transitioning into a forward bending pigeon pose. If you are less flexible, you can place your elbows on the floor. If you are more flexible, you can extend your arms and rest your head to the floor. And as you go down, you will realize, you will feel the stretch in the hip flexors gets lesser and lesser, and the stretch in the buttocks and outer hips gets deeper and deeper, and that's the primary area of focus. Again, once you get yourself settled into the posture, close your eyes and let's take 3 deep breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Slowly come up in the same way as you went down. Lift your back leg up and take your left leg back into plank position, which is the reset position. And we'll repeat the same 2 variations on the right side. Bring your right leg to the front, making sure you touch the right knee to your right hand first. Slide your left leg back, sinking your hips down to the floor. Again, be very mindful and see how much you need to adjust the lower portion of your right leg to get that same feel and range of motion on both sides. Remember that you're not dropped on one side. Use your hands, use your fingertips to bring your spine nice and upright, perpendicular to the floor. The stretch will be moderate in the buttocks and outer hips of the right leg and will be deeper in the hip flexors of your left as you make your spine upright. Close your eyes, close your mouth. Let's take 2 deep breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, proceed to transition into a forward bending pigeon pose. If you placed your elbows on the floor on the previous side, make sure you're repeating the same thing on this side as well. And since I rested my head on the floor, I'm going to repeat the same variation on the right side as well. Close your eyes and breathe 3 times. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Very good. Slowly come up in the same way you went down. Lift your back leg up and take your right leg back into the reset position. Again, as always, we are taking a brief rest in child's pose. Resting your knees on the floor, keeping them slightly apart, buttocks resting on your heel, forehead resting on the floor at the same time. Close your eyes, breathe and relax 2 times. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Very good. Slowly come up and now proceed to sit on the mat. Sit on the floor. In a seated position, bring your left leg to the front. Keep your right leg folded at your groin. Make sure that your spine is nice and upright, perpendicular to the floor, 90 degree at your hip joint. Toes pointing up towards the ceiling. So lengthen your spine and slowly start to bend forward. Anchor your fingers to your feet. Try and bend from the base of your spine and not from your thoracic spine. And you will feel when you hinge from the hip, right from the base, the stretch will be a lot more deeper in your hamstrings. Once you get settled into the posture, close your eyes and let your mind feel the stretch in the back of your left leg. And also feel the stretch in the upper and outer back of your right side. How deep you want to stretch is completely up to you. But I would recommend trying to not jeopardize the quality of your breathing in favor of a deeper stretch. And 5, 4, 3, 2, inhale, slowly come up in the same way as you went down. Exhale, slowly bring your hands back to the floor. Repeating the same variation on the other side. Extend your right leg, keep your left leg folded with your feet near your groin, toes pointing up, back nice and straight. Inhale, slowly raise your arms up, lengthen your spine, again hinging at the hip, anchor your fingers to your feet. Try and keep your spine as neutral as possible and bend from the base of your spine. Close your eyes. Let your mind feel that deep stretch in the back of your right leg, right from the hip all the way down to your heel. Also feel the stretch in the upper and outer back of your left side. Make sure that when you inhale, the breath fills into your belly, into your chest. You're trying to breathe as deeply as possible in an attempt to oxygenate each and every cell of your body, especially the ones under stretch. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, slowly come up with your arms extended to the front into an upright position. Exhale and slowly come back. Now from here, bring both your feet together. Hold your feet, bring your feet close to your groin, and try to make your spine as upright, as straight as possible. And again, you're not trying to bend from your thoracic spine, you're trying to bend forward from the base of your spine. And with every inch that you start to bend forward, the stretch in the inner thighs of both your legs keep getting deeper and deeper. Again, try to go to a point on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the most pain you can bear, 1 being no pain at all. You are trying to achieve a stretch pain of 7 or maybe 7.5. That's going to be your maximum pain threshold. And once you reach that, hold that position, try not to move, maintain that length of the muscle, and then give complete importance to deep, deep breathing. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly come up. Bring both your legs together and just relax your inner thighs by hugging your legs and resting your head on your legs. Okay? Now we've covered all the areas of your hip. The back of the leg, the hamstrings, the outer hips, the front, the hip flexors. We are now proceeding towards cool down in Shavasana. So keeping your legs slightly apart. Keep your arms slightly apart, palms facing up. Keep your legs slightly apart, toes pointing out. We are now going to try and do the same grounding that we did at the beginning of the class. Keeping your eyes closed, keeping your mouth closed, you are going to breathe in through your nose. And as you breathe, it is the belly that's going to fill up and expand first, followed by the rise and expansion of your chest. Your entire body has to rise and expand and inflate like a balloon, trying to absorb as much oxygen, as much breath. And you will realize that it's a lot more easier to breathe this way in a lying down position as compared to sitting upright, because there's no tension in any part of the body, your spine is relaxed, so it's easier for your body to get that breath deep into your belly. And as always, try to focus on increasing your exhalation, making it as long as possible. Relax your mind. Stop all the thinking for just a few minutes and just pay attention to how you feel when you inhale. Feel the belly, feel the chest, and feel that sense of calmness and lightness that comes as you slowly, in control, exhale your breath. You are also trying to replenish oxygen to each and every cell of your body that was active under use. And as you breathe with your diaphragm, the oxygen is also reaching to each and every cell of your brains. As you're breathing through your diaphragm, you are eliciting a parasympathetic a relaxation response. So spend about 3 to 5 minutes. And let's conclude the relaxation. Continue to keep your eyes closed, and keeping your eyes closed, bring both your hands together and vigorously rub your palms. Let the friction make your palms nice and warm. Upon sufficiently warming your palms, cover your eyes, not with your fingers but with your palm, and feel the heat radiate and pass from your palm to your face. Slowly massage your face in a slow and circular direction, spreading the heat to the rest of the face. Gently massage the temples of your head and the sinus regions under your eyes, and very gently, very slowly open your eyes. Turn to any one side and push yourself up and come up into a sitting position. I hope you feel relaxed. Thank you very much for joining. My name is Ken.